Parker Romo will kick off to Duke to start this game. Mentioned Virginia Tech with the big win against NC State last week. You just saw NC State picking up the big win on the road at Pitt. Toe meets leather, and we're underway here from Wallace Wade. Ball goes out of the back of the end zone. It'll be a touchback, and Duke will take over from their own 25. Chase Brice, Mark, the transfer from Clemson, not gotten off to the start he would have liked.
No, not at all. And the big number you see on that graphic is the 6 interceptions at the bottom of the screen. And when we talked to Dave Cutcliffe just about the progression of his quarterback, he talks about the progressions that are naturally inlaid in this offense. And you need to go through the wide receiver progressions in order to find the right guy. And if you do that, you'll avoid some of these turnovers, these incompletions. But Cutcliffe also said we need to run the ball early and often. Let's see how Duke does that early in this game.
They'll try Deon Jackson on the right side, and he's not going to get very far. Senior from Atlanta, Georgia, stopped right in his tracks by one of the team captains, this Virginia Tech team, Jared Hewitt.
Yeah, and you see Duke right off the bat. First down run, you want to see that. They pass the ball in 61% of their runs, or their first downs coming to this game. Good to see them run the ball early.
Brice swings it out to Jackson. Has to make a man miss. Hits about 4 or 5 on second down before Jamari Connor in that depleted secondary brings him down.
3rd down and 7. 3rd and longs have not been a strong suit of Duke so far this year. And if you ever want to see a time where Virginia Tech's going to come with pressure, it's 3rd and long situation. Look for Dax Hollyfield, the linebacker at the top of your screen, coming in.
Virginia Tech backs off, but still under pressure, and Brice is going to go down. Emmanuel Belmar picks up the sack.
And good pressure by Belmar as he's coming off the left side of your screen. Just is able to bend the corner around the tackle, Casey Holman. And that was set up by Rayshard Ashby, the linebacker who took that blocker off. Good job by Emmanuel Belmar. Big sack on that first drive, 3 and out for Virginia Tech.
Porter Wilson with the boot for Duke gets a little bit of a Blue Devil roll. Virginia Tech will take over from their own 36. You mentioned Burmeister in the open, Mark. This quarterback transfer from Oregon, rather. He'll get the start for the 2nd week in a row.
Yeah, and Braxton Burmeister, he got 5 starts at Oregon as a true freshman in 2017. Not super successful. His numbers looked a little bit like Chase Brice's, 2 touchdowns, 6 interceptions in that time. But what he did was show that he is a player who can do it through the air and on the ground last week versus NC State. Put up big numbers and held on to the football.
Burmeister, the throw on his first play of the game, and goes deep. Has a receiver down there, and it's Robinson who can't corral it. So taking a shot right off the bat.
Yeah, took a shot right off the bat. It looked like it almost slipped out of Burmeister's hands a little bit, but got there. You see the good move off the line of scrimmage, and Tayvion Robinson beat his defender. Burmeister just didn't get the ball out in front of him enough where he had to slow down and jump for it. Good play defensively by Duke.
Yeah, Leonard Johnson knocking the ball away from Robinson. Give to Herbert, the transfer from Kansas. He's brought down to the line of scrimmage, probably lost a yard. Shaka Hayward, who has about 100 tackles so far on the year, picks up another one.
Yeah, really good play by Shaka Hayward. Getting over top of the blocker and going and wrapping up the ball carrier. Khalil Herbert, he's another transfer guy, came in from Kansas. Had a phenomenal game week 1 with 6 carries for 104 yards and a touchdown. Really just one of the great players, run the ball and also can catch the ball out of the backfield.
3rd and long now for the Hokies as they try and avoid the 3 and out to start the game. Burmeister over the middle. Dangerous pass as his receiver slipped a little bit. That was James Mitchell, the tight end, and Jeremiah Lewis broke it up. Virginia Tech now forced the punt.
Yeah, Jeremiah Lewis is a cornerback. I've been really impressed with how he's played. Neither Duke nor Virginia Tech have their 2 starting cornerbacks playing. Mark Gilbert and Josh Blackwell for Duke are out, and Jeremiah Lewis stepped up. Big play, knocking that ball away.
Oscar Bradburn with the punt. Calhoun dangerously fields it and then just gets unceremoniously dumped right in his tracks. Duke will have another opportunity with the ball when we come back. Scoreless early here in Durham. Basketball school or lacrosse school, Mark. Football wins here with Coach Cutcliffe, although not this season. It's been a tough start.
Yeah, it's been a tough start for Duke football program, and Cutcliffe puts a lot of the blame on himself. When we talked to him this week, he said, look, it starts with me. It starts with this old head football coach. Maybe I need to change a little bit in order to help my team improve. And, you know, he talks about all the hats he's wearing, all the preparation that's needed to happen.
Offense number 5.
This year, especially with
down.
the pandemic and with the late start. And then also they prepared for 4 different teams as if they were opening games for those teams. And so, you know, a lot of prep early for Coach. And, you know, you also need to develop your young quarterback or your transfer quarterback in Chase Brice.
Yeah, as Tiff said in the open, turnovers have killed Duke and penalties have as well. They pick up another one here to start the drive, but Brice has time. Can't connect with Bobo. Jake Bobo was the intended receiver. Nice job defensively by Dorian Strong. Mark, we're going to be saying a lot of defensive backs names that Virginia Tech fans have never heard of before in this game.
No, Dorian Strong's one of those. This guy was not on the 2 deep depth chart even last week, so Dorian Strong, you know, odd 44 number as cornerback, but good play on that pass and knock it away.
True freshman making the play now. Chase Brice comes the other way to Calhoun. Dances around, maybe picks up a couple. It'll bring up another 3rd and long situation for the Blue Devils.
We saw 2 passing plays that really amounted to just, you know, they were similar to runs, but I think what Duke is going to try early is to attack these cornerbacks. You see both those plays stringing out the outside, trying to make these corners make plays on the ball, and good job by Virginia Tech on the first 2 downs.
Pressure picked up. Chase Brice just could not get that pass to Calhoun.
No, and when we talk about confidence of Chase Brice, you saw the lack of confidence just on that throw. Came out a little bit wobbly. I don't think it was touched. He wasn't able to step in. And a lot of times when you can notice visually a confidence of a quarterback, it's really short-arming some of those passes towards the sideline because you need to have the confidence to throw it out there on a rope. Not a good start for Chase Brice on a few passes on that drive.
Second 3 and out for the Blue Devils. Porter Wilson forced a punt. Nice high kick. Tayvion Robinson back. Now it's a loose football. Inside the 10-yard line, still loose, rolling toward the end zone. And Duke's going to make a huge play on special teams for the score. Talking about Beamer ball. How about Cutcliffe ball on the other side? Blue Devils take the early lead.
Oh my goodness. How about that? Absolutely fantastic play by Duke. Great job by Jalen Stinson to jump on this football. But you see the ball, really long kick. Tayvion Robinson backs up to catch it. You coach guys to always move forward to catch the football. And then once that ball is on the ground, good hustle by Duke Blue Devils to get on top of it. You know, we talk about injuries and the effect of injuries on a team. It also affects the special teams. There are 8 new starters on this Virginia Tech punt return unit, and none of them were able to recover that one. 6 points for Duke in a very uncharacteristic or maybe unfashionable way.
Yeah, remember last week we did the Duke-Virginia game, Mark, and Virginia fumbled the opening kickoff. Duke turned it into 3 points. Now another early turnover on special teams from their opponent. They turned this one into points. How can they build on this now throughout the rest of the game as they have the early momentum?
Well, they need to look at this momentum as kind of a one-off thing. You want to get up early, and that's great. But the real idea is to be able to move the ball consistently down the field on offense. They've already proven defensively they can get 3 and outs to start this game. So offensively, let's start moving the sticks and don't rely on special teams touchdowns and turnovers. But good job. Let's see. You cannot advance a ball once you have it in your possession, but it doesn't look like it was in his possession until he was already in the end zone. I think that's what the refs might be looking at right now.
That's a good point. Robinson initially muffed the punt. And they reviewed it and confirmed it. It is a touchdown. Tip of the cap to Porter Wilson, too. That was a 55-yard boot. He's off to a good start, the Duke punter this season, and that put Robinson in a tough spot to field that punt. Charlie Ham on for the PAT, freshman out of Atlanta, Georgia, to increase Duke's lead from 6-7.
Point after by
through with the Blue Devils.
You saw 25 there, Deon Jackson. He's currently number 4 running back. He had a really breakout game for Duke, and we talked to Cutcliffe about that game. He said, if you told me after that game that we would not make a bowl game, you would be insane. Well, they fell off a cliff, and Virginia Tech kind of used it as a kick in the pants and got their act together and ended up playing Virginia the last game of the season that would send them to the ACC championship game.
Herbert takes the kick from his own goal line, brings it out to the 25, and since that day, Duke has gone 2-9. And Coach Cutcliffe said it still haunts him that that team last year did not meet what he thought their expectations were. And Virginia Tech, meanwhile, I think we had them right after that game last year, Mark, and talking to Coach Fuente, he put it all on his own shoulders, and they really turned things around. As you see their record, winning the Belk Bowl, we did that game as well in Charlotte. They had a good year.
Yeah, they did. And, I think both of these coaches are class acts, and they both put it on their shoulders, the result and the reason why that happened. But you're right, Fuente was furious with himself that he allowed his team to be out-toughed by Duke.
Herbert tries the right side, picks up close to 5 yards on first down. Shaka Hayward again there with the stop.
He talked about being out-toughed, and for a tough guy, I mean, we've been in the weight room with him before, Chris, and we've seen him doing the gun show, the arm day. I mean, he's a tough guy.
Arm farm.
He said he was listening to too much import from other people, and he got back to his coaching style, was hard on the guys, and it showed on the field.
Burmeister flanked by 2 backs, a fake to Blackshear. Screen pass to his tight end. Mitchell, watch out for this kid. Big, he's more like a big wide receiver out there, isn't he, Mark?
He can do a lot. He said Justin Fuente talked about James Mitchell as a guy who's a hybrid, and he is a difference maker position-wise because he can line up at tight end. He can line up in the backfield as fullback. He can line up in the slot, and it allows them to do multiple things, especially with depletions due to this COVID-19. Look for him to be on the field a lot today. He's getting a little breather. No big deal.
They had Keene in that position last year, too, a special player whose eligibility expired. Here's Blackshear, transfer from Rutgers. Both Herbert and Blackshear transfers into this program, Mark, and Blackshear is a little bit more of a change of pace. Career at Rutgers, he ran for 912 yards and had 812 yards through the air, so he can do it all.
Oh, yeah, he can, and, last year, Rutgers versus Boston College had a career day, 9 receptions, 130 yards through the air at running back. He is a true receiving threat. Look for him in the slot some, too, as this game progresses.
Running with him, trap play, picks up maybe a yard. Maybe just back to the line of scrimmage. You can see Blackshear's a little bit smaller, 5'9", 194 pounds, out of Philadelphia. True multi-purpose back. Now teaming with Herbert, who's a little bit more of your bigger prototypical tailback in the ACC, about 215 pounds. Second down and 10, no gain on that carry. Fake to Blackshear. Burmeister now flushed. He's going to have to tuck it and run, which he can do, and picks up what he can.
You talk about that dual tandem running backs, and that's something that Virginia Tech has been looking for a while. Deshaun McLeese was their leading rusher last year, no longer with the team, and they had a young Keyshawn King who missed the first opening game, who they are hoping can provide a spark out of that backfield in the receiving realm. But Raheem Blackshear and Khalil Herbert coming in together and learning this offense together, they are going to be dynamic in this backfield, especially with the offensive line that Virginia Tech brings back in all their experience.
Blackshear now in the backfield with Burmeister on 3rd and 4. Burmeister has a receiver one-on-one inside the 10, but excellent coverage. Marquise Waters from that safety spot. Nice job in coverage on Mitchell.
Yeah, it was a good third down play. This is a play that Mitchell scored on last week, just that inside fade to the back of the end zone, well covered by Marquise Waters, and they're at a point on the field where you could decide to go for it or punt. It looks like Fuente's sending out his kicking unit to just pooch this one down, try to get it inside the 10-yard line.
Bradburn's an outstanding punter for Virginia Tech, has been for a number of years, trying to get this one to die inside the 10, but can't do it. Bounces through the end zone, and it'll be a touchback. Coach Cutcliffe, one of the few head coaches in the country, calls his own plays. First year he's doing that here with Duke. What do you make of that decision to do that this season?
Well, we talked to him about that decision, and he felt it was the best thing for his team. However, he said it keeps him up at night. Says he's an old football coach who might be slow to change, but he wants to get a little bit more sleep and think younger. And I think that younger thinking comes with some play calling and a little bit of variance in that play calling. He feels as though he's called the plays pretty well so far this year, but it does add another element of just the time constraint that you have during the week with these players, and being able to set practice plans, to set the tempo, to write scripts, and then to also come up with a game plan. It's a lot on the plate for this veteran head coach.
You saw Mateo Durant slung out of bounds by Dax Hollifield for no gain. Now Brice to pass, rolls to his right, completes this one. The Eli Pan call, forced out of bounds. Safe passes here early, Mark. A lot of them by Chase Brice. On the go, short passes, letting his receivers do things after the catch.
Yeah, it's good. Get the ball into the receivers' hands early, make them make some plays, and build confidence for your quarterback.
Durant, big hole. Close to midfield, another first down for the Blue Devils.
If you want your quarterback to feel comfortable, run the ball like this. Watch this running lane. Great block by Maurice McIntyre getting up on the second level, the left guard. Just spurred Mateo Durant forward. Big game, first down.
Little confusion in the backfield. Still the prize. It's intercepted. Tyler Matheny with the pick to midfield. Now into Duke territory. Out of bounds at the 35. Look at that sideline. That's one of those secondary players that has never played before and getting some time because of COVID.
Oh, man, you look how excited they are for this guy. Tyler Matheny is a guy who didn't think he would play really this year, maybe at all, but he's playing because of all the COVID and pressure up the middle. Chase Brice had a pretty clean pocket. You saw Mateo Durant pick up the blitzer off the edge. But tips and overthrows are a quarterback's worst nightmare. That ball should have been caught over the middle. That one I will not put on Chase Brice, but the statisticians will, so he's held to blame.
Yeah, it'll still go down as his 7th of the year. And Matheny getting congratulations from his teammates. Virginia Tech back with the football in Duke territory, down 7.
You see him on the sideline just trying to catch his breath. It's one thing. There's game speed's different. You get that dry mouth when you're out on the field. You get a little nervous. And then all of a sudden you have to run 20 yards with the ball in your hands and you are winded. Oh, good play by that young man.
Herbert. Give him a couple. There was an illegal block on the return that we didn't get a chance to see. So it moved the football back into Virginia Tech territory. And that's where the Hokies are starting this drive. 3 yards picked up by Herbert on first down. Burmeister looking to the sideline, picking up the play. Now a little confusion as the play clock inside of 5. And they're just going to let that run down and call a timeout. Burmeister will go over to the sideline, and he and Fuente and Brad Cornelson, the offensive coordinator, will discuss things. Virginia, he was going to tell us, 14-0 Florida State trailing to Jack State. That is something we're going to have to keep an eye on throughout the rest of the afternoon. Keeping an eye on this Virginia Tech offense here Really trying to get something going a little bit last time. A couple of first downs. Trying to sustain something with Burmeister at the helm. Again to Mitchell, but a nice job defensively. Marquise Waters again.
Marquise Waters having a great day so far. He's going to be matched up a lot on James Mitchell. He's the bigger, strong safety in this defense. Big physical guy. He's really sure tackler. He's done a good job matching up with James Mitchell. Had a tough week against BC. Hunter Long, their big tight end, got the better of him, but he bounced back, and he is a hungry, tenacious football player.
Hokies 0 for 2 on third down so far today. It's 3rd and 7. Duke brings 4, now up the middle. Burmeister flushed out. He's going to have to get rid of it, and he does just that. Throws it away. Duke holds again and forces a punt after the turnover. Flag on the play. Let's check this flag. As we again take a look at the pressure up the middle, Mark.
Personal foul.
Yeah, pressure right up the middle.
Passer, number 43 defense. 15-yard penalty, first down.
You hear that call. Rocky Shelton guilty of roughing the passer. You saw it there right on the end. That's going to extend this drive.
Yeah, it's a tough penalty. It's I think a pretty good acting job by Braxton Burmeister, but either way, you have a quarterback, the ball is clearly thrown. It's that extra little shove right at the end. You can touch him, hold him up, but just don't push him down. That extends this drive. And Rocky Shelton, a young player on this team, he's had a good start to this season, but that's a penalty you cannot have.
Especially with this Duke defense playing so well here in the first quarter. And Wallace Wade, high snap. Burmeister brings it down. He's going to keep it. Maybe powers forward for a yard.
He is wrapped up from behind by Chris Rump.
Well, Burmeister looked to the sideline on that last play because he saw 9 Duke defenders within the box and one-on-one coverage for his wide receivers outside, kind of saying, let me throw this one out there. Got waved off and only got a 1-yard gain, but right now, I mean, Braxton Burmeister wants to let it loose as Duke is crowding the box.
They'll get an opportunity here, looking for Robinson down the right sideline, and Robinson goes up and makes a great catch. Taking it away from Jeremiah Lewis, and it's a big gain for the Hokies.
We talked to Burmeister this week about his confidence in his wide receivers, and if he had a favorite target, he said, not really. All these guys can go up and make plays, and I think what he loves is the matchups that he sees. Again, Duke is down to their second-string cornerbacks, and Tayvion Robinson, their top pass catcher on the outside. Good job on that one to come down with the football.
29 yards, puts the ball in the red zone. Burmeister now over the middle. Touchdown, Mitchell. Flag on the play. Let's check it, but the tight end went up and got it.
Offside. Defense number 96. The penalty will be declined. The result of the play is a touchdown.
We said James Mitchell could be used James Mitchell could be used in a lot of spots. You see him running that skinny post out of a single receiver to the boundary, and he's matched up on the smaller cornerback, Jeremiah Lewis. Really good ball placement by Braxton Burmeister. Just kind of lofted it in there, let your big tight end go and make a play. That was a good drive by Virginia Tech to capitalize on that turnover.
Ryan Johnson for the point after. Coach Fuente loves it. Duke penalty gave the Hokies new life, and they certainly made the most out of it. We saw NC State with a big win earlier today on the road at Pitt. Here we've got Virginia Tech and Duke, and then later on tonight, our primetime matchup presented by Geico, Virginia and Clemson. We had Virginia last week. They got off to a slow start in that game here against Duke, Mark, but they had a really good second half. And Clemson at home, well, they're Clemson.
Yeah, they're Clemson, and I think everybody's excited to see Clemson back on the field again. Had a few weeks off, but they really picked up where they left off last year in those first couple games, and Travis Etienne is running better than ever, and Trevor Lawrence is looking sharp, and Amari Rodgers, just when you think that all their wide receivers left to go to the NFL, well, you forgot about Amari Rodgers, and he has played fantastically. It's going to be a big test for Virginia, who does return 9 starters defensively, but anytime you play Clemson, it's a tough task.
John Parker Romo is just going to send this one out of the back of the end zone. Tiffany Blackman's down on the field. What do you got for us, Tiff? We'll check back in with Tiffany in a little bit, having an audio issue down there on the field. So after the interception, that wasn't entirely his fault. Chase Brice now taking another big running play, though. Mateo Durant, they're getting some push on that offensive line. He got a good 7 yards before Rayshard Ashby was able to bring him down, and now Duke wants to go tempo. And
go right back to that same run play.
And they do. This time Durant looking for a space to go and doesn't have far to go. Just met in the hole that time. Dax Hollifield. Tiffany, what do you got?
Hey guys, well, Chase Brice has been settling down a little bit. That has a thing to do with his offensive line and a guy like Will Taylor, who's been really instrumental in his success. I'll let you guys take it away right here.
Durant with a couple of yards. You can continue, Tiffany.
The two of them know each other quite well. They actually went to high school together at Grayson, along with Taylor's twin brother, John, who's on the team as their long snapper. And Will was able to take Chase Brice around on his tour here of the school to kind of help solidify things when he decided to transfer here.
Yeah, he certainly had. There are a lot of players, as we've discovered over the last couple of weeks, Mark, from that area in Gwinnett County, Georgia. That's right in the northeast part of Metro Atlanta. And a lot of good football is played in that part of the state of Georgia, and a lot of players on this Duke team from that area.
Yeah, and how important it is that when you're entering the transfer portal to have someone who you trust at a school already to vouch for the program. That's really what Will Taylor did for Chase Brice.
Pass to Noah Gray, first time we've mentioned his name. Promises not to be the last. Tight end for Duke, one of the top tight ends in the country, making the grab.
And here
these young players are. It's Grayson. Yeah.
Yeah, you see them at high school. Look at that young Chase Brice, young Will Taylor. I think they probably had braces on at the time.
Yeah, I know. Good fake by Brice on the carry. Gets it into Virginia Tech territory before Jamari Connor is there to make the stop. 2nd down and 6.
And Duke is obviously going way up tempo this drive, trying to wear out the depleted Virginia Tech defense.
Deon Jackson now in the game. Gets a couple.
Deon Jackson.
Before he's wrestled down to the ground by Laurel Pollard.
Yeah, and Chris, you talk defensively, you don't rotate like the offense rotates. I remember a defensive player when the offense would go fast and they would send wide receivers deep and running backs deep and then sub them out. We still have to stay on the field defensively, and Virginia Tech's gonna get tired if they keep up this tempo.
Brice tried to find Noah Gray, but he was covered, so just had to eat it. Rayshard Ashby brings him down for the loss. And that was a big play here. Now 4th down at midfield. Look at huffing and puffing.
Look at anytime you see a guy hold on to his shoulder pad so he can catch his breath, means he got nothing else to hold on to. And they're in punt safe, so Duke doesn't do a fake right here, but they are excited to get off the field.
This is still the 1st quarter. Porter Wilson trying to kill this one inside the 10. Beautiful punt. Beautiful bounce as well. Inside the 1-yard line. That's where Virginia Tech will take over. Porter Wilson has certainly been a weapon in this game so far for Duke. A couple of big special teams plays by this Blue Devil team. Now this one having Virginia Tech having to start play from the shadow of their own goalpost.
Gosh, yeah, we talk about field position and you talk about defense and special teams, but when you have a punter that can be a weapon like this, now it's a very difficult situation for Virginia Tech just to get out of their own end zone. Playbook's limited in this situation. Look for a direct run, look for a hard count, possibly even a deep shot if Duke comes up to the line.
Fake to Herbert. Burmeister's going to try and throw out to his receiver, who gets knocked down, and that's going to be an interference call. Leonard Johnson just a little bit too much of Caleb Smith, and that'll give Virginia Tech some breathing room.
Pass interference, defense, number 33, 15-yard penalty, 1st down.
In a lot of cases like this last one, you get man-to-man on the outside because Duke loaded the box looking for that direct run. Really good just play by Caleb Smith to give a little juke in his route when he saw the ball underthrown. Nothing Leonard Johnson can do about that one, but good play call by Virginia Tech, get out of their own end zone.
Fake to Herbert. Burmeister's going to keep. It's a block on the outside. We can't make much out of it. Good pursuit by that Blue Devil defense led by Drew Jordan.
We talk about Duke's defense. We don't talk enough about the level that this Duke Blue Devil defense is playing. They are hustling to the football. They understand that they're underrated, and you see a guy like Drew Jordan there, a senior, part of this first class that came in when Ben Albert got here, defensive coordinator, D-line coach, and they are playing well this year.
The fake to Herbert. Trying to get it Smith again. It was Robinson, rather, almost made a one-handed catch. But Mike Carter, outstanding coverage for the Blue Devils, one of the captains of this Duke team.
Again, another player making a big play on the outside. And I mean, Duke has constantly made the drives difficult for their opponents this year. The scoreboard hasn't always looked like that because of all the turnovers they have had offensively. But when you want to look at, possibly one of the top 5 defensive front sevens in the ACC, look no farther than Duke.
Third and 7 for the Hokies. Could be the final play of this third quarter. Again, Burmeister trying to find a receiver on the outside, and that was Evan Fairs, another transfer from Kansas, but pass just too far out of bounds, and it drove Fairs onto the white chalk. Another great job of coverage by Leonard Johnson, really stepping up at that corner spot for Duke, forcing another punt.
Yeah, great play of Leonard Johnson. Anytime that ball goes up in the air, you just want to start to body the wide receiver as close to the sideline as possible so he doesn't have any room to run. Braxton Burmeister just kind of lofting it up there. Might need to put a little zip on the ball in those deep ones as the game goes on. And, short punt. Rugby-style punt.
It does take a Virginia Tech bounce, but not a great bounce, and Duke will have outstanding field position when they take over. ACC this year, Mark, it's one of those things where it's really up for grabs. I mean, there are no divisions, so the top 2 teams are going to play for the ACC title. Either the 12th or the 19th, probably the 19th, I'm guessing, because we're already rescheduling a bunch of games for the 12th, including Virginia Tech and Virginia. And Notre Dame's eligible this year, so speaking about wild card, another one thrown in the mix.
Well, wild cards, I mean, it's just crazy as you watch this game of ACC football week in and week out. Just when we think someone's on top of their game, for example, Pitt earlier lost to NC State. I just don't know what to make of this ACC competition yet, but all I know is it's fun to watch.
Yeah, just when you think you know who's going to play Clemson for the ACC title on either the 12th or the 19th, that team takes a stumble. Louisville, Pitt, will it beat Virginia Tech? They're in a battle here with Duke so far today. Special teams mistake leads to a Blue Devil score. Hokies come back with an offensive drive of their own. We're even after 1 in Durham. Helm for the Duke Blue Devils as we start the second quarter, all knotted up at 7 apiece. Duke score coming on special teams, so the offense with just 4 first downs in that first quarter now, trying to move the chains. Another one of those quick, safe passes, relatively safe, Mark, from Chase Brice.
Yeah, continue to get him the ball in his hands, throwing it underneath coverage to your wide receivers. 3rd and 1 is awesome for an inexperienced quarterback.
And Jackson had no shot. Hollifield, Hewitt dropping him for a loss.
Wow. 3rd and 1's what you want to get to, but 4th and 5 after a 3rd and 1 is not moving in the right direction. And you look at that move by Jared Hewitt, just moving his hips around the offensive center, going backdoor. You don't want D linemen to do that very often, but he said he feels comfortable with that because of the experience at that linebacker level where he can try to make a play and know his linebackers will cover him up.
Wilson's punt takes a sideways bounce, and we'll see Virginia Tech again on offense. This offensive line that paved the way, Mark, for 314 yards on the ground last week against NC State. A little bit of a slower start this week in terms of running the football. Another opportunity to see Virginia Tech here on this drive.
Yeah, absolutely. But Khalil Herbert, their running back, has been phenomenal, especially week 1. But watch this offensive line. You see 76 Brock Hoffman and the right tackle, Doug Nestor, get a pinback block on the second level against the linebackers. And really, it just becomes off to the races with Khalil Herbert. And watching this offensive line play together and communicate up front, a lot has to do with the return of Brock Hoffman, who is called the glue that holds this line together. He was out last year because his waiver was denied, his transfer waiver. And he's making a difference so far in this game and in this season. And you see that 314 yards rushing last week versus NC State. I mean, that's an outrageous number, and that's a number that makes you upset defensively. And you saw NC State come out and really stuffed the run versus Pitt earlier today.
Yeah, they must have had a week where they really worked on that. Brock Burmeister, how did he escape the initial rush? Couldn't escape the secondary group, though. Dwayne Carter brings him down. Couldn't find anywhere to go.
Just as we talk about the offensive line, they were pretty porous on that one, but ooh, he's hungry. Feed that man. Ah, that's great.
Be quiet and feed me.
Yeah, be quiet and feed me. That's what my 2-year-old says to me. Be quiet and feed me. I love it.
Virginia Tech still yet to convert a third down today. 0 for 3 after the sack. This one's going to be difficult. 3rd and 18. Pressure up the middle. Burmeister just throws it to the feet of Raheem Blackshear. And Virginia Tech will once again be forced to punt.
Yeah, I think the question starts to come into play is, when are we going to see Hendon Hooker? If Braxton Burmeister isn't able to get this offense moving downfield, even though Hendon Hooker hasn't had a lot of practice prep, do we see him as this game progresses? Obviously, it's still a tie game, but not a lot of promising things going on for Virginia Tech offensively right now.
The Aussie Oscar Bradburn. Tonight at 11 o'clock Eastern, Jordan Cornette, Eric McLean, E.J. Manuel, and Coach Rick will break down the entire day of ACC college football. It's The Huddle right here on the ACC Network and on the ESPN app. Following our game, it's Virginia Clemson. And then The Huddle in the studio to recap what has already been an exciting day of football and promises to get better. Brice now chased out of the pocket, complete. That's David Tayvion Jackson, makes the catch and moves the chains.
Best throw of the day by Chase Brice. Pressured from his backside, he feels it and moves outside the pocket. You see him using his legs a little bit, has that confidence and slinged it in there to his wide receiver. That was the best throw I've seen from him today.
Marweedy in motion. Brice to Calhoun. Punt return. Trying to do just that after catching the ball and won't go anywhere. Justice Reed in on the stop.
Good job by Virginia Tech's defensive line. Look at the number of defensive linemen who get to the football in this play. That's how you stop screens. You set the edge, turn the ball back inside. You get 1, 2, 3, 4 defensive linemen in there bringing the ball carrier down. I know that Justin Hamilton will be at home watching this and loving that.
Flag down on the play. Looks like it's going to go against Duke. We'll wait to hear from Jeff Flanagan, our referee today.
Personal foul. Illegal block below the waist. 88. Offense. 15-yard penalty. Still first down.
Tight end Jake Marweedy, the guilty party there. That's a killer.
You get a lot of that on these screen passes that are outside the box, because you can cut block inside the box, but anytime you come back in towards the football from outside in and you cut, or you're outside the box and you go and cut low, that you can't do on a forward pass. So good call by the referees. Official.
2nd and 24. See what Coach Cutcliffe has dialed up here. That's Deon Jackson again. He escapes to the sideline, so a big pickup, pick up a big chunk of that yardage back. Dorian Strong on the stop, but it gives Duke an opportunity here to at least convert this third down.
Chase Brice is getting in rhythm. They did a slant flat route on the outside, and good job of finding the open spot in the cover 3 defense. Chase Brice put it right on his receiver. Receiver turned outside, picked up a big gain.
Blitz coming. And Brice is getting brought down, and that's Tyler Matheny again. Made the pick. Now he's having himself a day.
Oh my goodness, what a day for this young man. And talk about capitalizing on opportunity. You see him just completely unblocked, and he did a good job of bluffing the blitz. I didn't think he was coming the way he lined up. Make the tackle.
Yep, my mistake on the downs. That was second down. This is third down.
The intended receiver was Jake
now it's
Bobo.
fourth down. Pass behind Jake Bobo, bringing up fourth down.
Porter Wilson will step on. He will punt it away to Raheem Blackshear.
So another promising drive by the Duke Blue Devils is really curtailed by that 15-yard penalty. It's one step forward, 2 steps back for this offense right now. Raheem Blackshear on to return this punt. And he's going to fair catch it at his own 19. Virginia Tech with the football when we come back.
And another look at this sack by Tyler Matheny. Great job coming off the edge. Young man get an opportunity to step up.
Virginia Tech's last possession when Duke's defense forced yet another 3 and out. I saw co-defensive coordinator Ben Albert just getting fired up about his guys, telling them that that was a great defensive series. He is really pleased with their play. And that has a lot to do with the smarts on this group. They've got so many intelligent guys in that defense that he was singing his praises about.
Thank you, Tiffany. Got a double reverse here, and first opportunity to see Trey Turner. He gets about 6 yards on first down before the Duke pursuit drives him out of bounds.
Yeah, Trey Turner's a guy who's dangerous. He had a big run last week. 40-plus yard run. They love using him on these end-around reverses. They can also throw bubble screens out to him. But big play Trey, as they like to call him, he can go up and get the ball too. He makes some impressive catches down the field.
Counted off at 5 on first down.
Virginia Tech has all their receivers into the boundary. Look for a run here, someone coming across to the big field.
Give to Blackshear. Runs into his own man, then runs out of bounds after the Blue Devil, Derek Tangelo, forced him out, and it'll bring up 3rd and medium here for Virginia Tech.
And Ben Albert, the D coordinator, D-line coach for Duke, is going to love that play as well. This is a formation that signals run. You know it's going to be run play up front. You got to string it out, push it out to the boundary. Good job by Tangelo. Now brings up a 3rd and 5. And that's when Victor Dimukeji, Drew Jordan, and Chris Rumpf can go to work on the outside.
Burmeister to throw. Steps up now, he'll run. And has real estate in front of him. He'll pick up the first down. That's the Hokies' first third down conversion of the game at 9:22 here in the second quarter, and it'll move the chains.
Well, Duke decided to play a little man-to-man on the outside, and they got some of the defenders turning and looking at their wide receivers, and good job recognizing it by Braxton Burmeister, and you see his speed. He is a true dual-threat quarterback.
Give to Herbert. Bounces it outside. Has room. And he picks up another first down.
Ooh, that was an angry run. You think Khalil Herbert likes to break free? He hasn't been able to so far, and found a little space. Really good hesitation. He leans in and then bounces back outside, sets up his blockers. Offensive linemen love when your running back helps. And lowered the boom. Yeah, lowered the boom on the defender, and another big play on the ground. Virginia Tech needs to move it, but watch him lower the shoulder. He just pummeled the smaller Jeremiah Lewis.
Did the the same to Nate Thompson on that last carry. Now he's got a little bit of a head of steam here as we reach the midway point of the second quarter. Herbert again, this time not going anywhere.
Khalil Herbert once again. This time he is wrapped up with the legs by Chris Rump.
Jeremiah Lewis there to make the stop along with Chris Rump. Even a little conversation afterward. Yeah,
he's getting tossed around, but you can tell. I mean, this offensive line for Virginia Tech is getting a little bit frustrated. I mean, some antics after the play a little bit. You see there at the screen. I mean, all that is Dwayne Carter playing till the whistle, and Lucida Smith did not like it.
Loss of 1 on the play, 2nd and 11. Blackshear out of the backfield. Underneath, Turner. 5 Blue Devils bring him down along with Shaka Hayward, one of them. But a good gain on 2nd down to bring it 3rd and short.
I wouldn't be surprised to see them drop back, maybe get 5 receivers out, flare the back out, and really tell Braxton Burmeister that, here, do a quick pass, find your man, or if you don't find an open guy quickly, take off and run. It was effective on that last 3rd and 5.
They give to Blackshear. Spins open into the secondary for the 1st down.
Or you can do that, Chris. That works too. Any way you want to pick up 3 yards. And Raheem Blackshear is a guy who really just became healthy on Thursday before last week's game. Didn't get a ton of practice time, but he is a real kind of 1-2 thunder and lightning threat with Khalil Herbert. And you mentioned before, he's a receiving threat out of the backfield. Wouldn't be surprised to get him involved in the screen game as this one goes on.
Gallo tight end in motion, now back outside. Burmeister's going to keep it, looking for the edge. Inside the 20, pushed out of bounds in the 15 by Waters. Good 8 yards on the 1st down. He's really getting involved in the running game.
He is, and this is what Virginia Tech needed. They needed to sustain a drive, pick up some 1st downs on 3rd downs, give their defense a little bit of a rest. I mean, remember the amount of players that their defense has out due to the COVID-19. And so right now they are on the sideline thanking their gods that this is a sustained drive for Virginia Tech's offense.
10th play of this sustained drive for the Hokies. Burmeister now the throw over the middle. That's dangerous. Try to hit Mitchell in double coverage. Bring up 3rd down.
High pass over the middle, a little bit late, double coverage.
3rd down.
It's an ill-advised pass, but brings up 3rd and 2. Personnel really determined the play calling on the last one. Looks like they got their big tight ends in again. See if Burmeister keeps this one.
Gives it to Herbert, who loses his footing as soon as he grabbed the handoff, and he's going to come up short. Now what do? You keep those big ones in there and go for it on 4th down? They really didn't even give him any yardage on the play.
Well, it's an interesting decision right now. You've had a defense who has been playing well, and you haven't been able to move the ball well offensively. So 2 yards is something that Justin Fuente and Brad Cornelison think that they can get. Go fast to the line of scrimmage.
Turner in motion. Burmeister to throw. As Gallo hits him inside the 10. It'll be 1st and goal for the Hokies.
Well, you knew there was going to be a play off of that, whether it was going to be Burmeister keeping it on the lead follow play, but here, good job on the pull, and just a fake seal block by the tight end Nick Gallo. Good reception, 1st down.
Hokies will scrimmage from the 7, 1st and goal. They give to Blackshear. Met on the corner by Drew Jordan and his teammates. Marquise Waters there as well. No gain.
Ball now placed at the 9.
Marquise Waters, we've seen him cover the tight ends. We've seen him make a couple of good plays already in the run game, but he's one of those guys who they feel like can play any of the positions on the back end, and usually is a guy right around the line of scrimmage because you see how quick he can trigger when he knows it's run. Got right downhill, short tackler.
Blackshear lost a couple actually on the play. Still in goal to go, but second down from the 9. Burmeister design run. Had Blackshear in front of him, gets inside the 5 and lowers his shoulder. Picks up an extra yard, but third down and goal from the 4. Hendon Hooker is available for this game. As you're your head coach and you see your starting quarterback lower his shoulder like that, you have to be thankful that at least you have a guy like Hendon Hooker that can come in, or Quincy Patterson for that matter, their big quarterback out of Chicago. Here's Hendon Hooker.
And that's one thing that as a coach you really rely on, is the fact that you do have a capable, healthy backup. And so that's something that Fuente is going to rely on.
Duke all knotted up at 7. Look at the drive, 14 plays, 7.5 minutes off the clock, just what the doctor or the depleted defense needed for Virginia Tech. But the Hokies now trying to punch it in on 3rd and goal. Burmeister to pass. Duke brings pressure up the middle. Couldn't get it to Mitchell because there is that man, 0, Marquise Waters again.
Marquise Waters, another outstanding play. It's been all him this drive. He gets really one-on-one with the bigger tight end / wide receiver James Mitchell. Good job of getting your hand in between the receiver's hands and knocking it away. We saw Virginia Tech decide to go for it on the last 4th down. They don't want to take that risk twice, sending out their field goal kicker to punch this one through.
21 yards on the attempt for Brian Johnson. 16 straight for the senior from Washington, D.C. Hokies take their first lead of the day, 10-7. Blue Devils will have a chance to counter when we come back. Justin Fuentes, Virginia Tech Hokies up 7, 3:14 left to go in the second quarter. The second straight week for Virginia Tech, team depleted because of COVID protocols. They were without 23 players, plus some staff members, including the defensive coordinator Justin Hamilton last week. This week without 21 players, and Hamilton again missing his second game as the defensive coordinator for the Hokies, taking over for Bud Foster. But no one's going to feel sorry for you. You got to come out and play when you can, and they were given the go-ahead this morning to go ahead and play, and they've taken a 3-point lead with just over 3 left to go in this first half.
Yeah, this defense for Virginia Tech has played well. Really, both defenses have played well. You saw that last drive that Virginia Tech had, though. It's a very long drive. Took almost 7-8 minutes off the clock. And right now, when you look at the time of possession differential, I mean, it's almost like a 7-minute difference just from that last drive.
Brice the fake to Durant. Pressure coming. Ball loose.
Ball is on
Duke
turf.
was able to fall on it to keep possession.
Duke maintains possession. Amari Barno.
It's Amari Barno coming off the edge, Mark.
Yeah, big 6'6" Amari Barno. We talk about transfers and their presence on this Virginia Tech team. He's another transfer from Butler Community College. Played a little bit last week and making his presence felt in this game.
2nd and 13. There's Durant. Oh, what a stop. What a move by Durant to get the first down. What a move.
Extends to the 31-yard line.
But Deon
Was that
Durant
on the controller?
Oh my gosh, yeah, he jumped out of the tackle, almost jumped out of his shoes, almost jumped off the screen, but it looks like it's pretty much bottled up and bounces right outside, and right there just is able to throw that stiff arm, bounce the outside, pick up a big game, and Duke desperately needs that from their running backs to calm down Chase Brice.
Brice double pumps, ball batted in the air and incomplete. Josh Fuga there to knock the ball down for Virginia Tech. You're seeing the depth for this Virginia Tech defense.
Yeah, good job. I mean, you're taught as a defensive lineman, if you're not going to get to the quarterback, just stick your paw up in the air, possibly get a deflection. Good job on that one. Well coached, well executed, forcing a punt.
Out of bounds at the 38. Virginia Tech with just under 2 minutes left to go in this first half.
Ball being marked at the 41-yard line, first down and 10.
State Farm halftime reports coming your way. Jordan Cornett, the crew back in studio. Show you highlights of that NC State Pitt game that had a wild finish in Pittsburgh earlier today. You're going to want to see that. Plus, the last time we checked, Florida State was trailing to Jack State 14-0. I'm sure that score has changed since then, but they're going to show you how and why, and I'm sure they'll preview Clemson and Virginia coming up prime time tonight here on the ACC network. Let's see what Virginia Tech can do here in the final 2 minutes. Blackshear trying to find a hole, can't find any on the right side.
Blackshear, the ball carrier.
Chris, guess who was there? Marquise Waters. He's all over the field, but at some point, this Duke defense is going to get tired. They were just on the field for 8 minutes. Their offense comes out, gets a 3 and out right away. That's one thing Dave Cutcliffe talked about, the breakdown in the second and fourth quarter for his team due to the fact that their defense just stays on the field for so long. Let's see if Virginia Tech can capitalize on a tired Blue Devil team.
Burmeister wants to tuck it and run. He'll pick up a couple.
Burmeister will keep. He is hit by Victor Deon Jackson.
Rocky Shelton was there to bring him down. The clock running.
Third down.
To combat that tiredness and that fatigue, Cutcliffe said he can't really condition them. He doesn't have enough time, but he makes them sprint the entire practice. If it pays off, that would be terrible. I couldn't have, that's just bad. Having to sprint the entire practice, but that's how you get it. That's how you get in shape.
Virginia Tech owns the time of possession here today. Good jump off the edge for the Blue Devils. No, there is a flag on the play, so free play for Burmeister, and he gets hit hard after a couple of yard gain. Jamaric Woods bringing him down, but let's check the call.
Offside. Defense, number 51. 5-yard penalty. Third down.
Jeff Flanagan keeps us up to date. Cagey was the one who got offside, yeah.
And he has an explosive get off, 18 sacks in his career, but that one was a little bit too early. It's one of these defensive linemen key something, and his key told him to go, and I think fatigue also plays a little bit of factor into that. I mean, you talk about physical fatigue, running to the ball, missing tackles, but the mental fatigue also comes into play, and you get those early penalties. And looks like Jamaric Woods is down on the field after delivering the blow to Braxton Burmeister. Yeah,
a collision. Burmeister got the better of that one, as he's maybe a little stinger there. He's flexing his hand.
Yeah, it looks like it. And anytime you hit kind of with the side of the neck, that could be a possibility. But, you know, the real question is, Lummy Young, who starts at that rover position, is out for this game. And Jamaric Woods is his backup. He's a Michigan grad transfer. And now they're going deeper into the depth chart. It looks like he's walking off. He'll be okay. But for this next play, that rover position is going to be an area where Virginia Tech might look to attack.
3rd and 2 for the Hokies. The entire playbook open, although just 41 seconds remaining in this first half. They do have 2 timeouts still on the board. If they were able to pick up this first down here to get the ball into field goal range. And Brian Johnson, they have an outstanding kicker in Brian Johnson. He was booting 55 yards in pregame warmup, so he has a long leg. Got to convert this 3rd down, though, first. Turner. And he'll pick it up. Carter ushers him out of bounds, but a fresh set of downs for the Hokies. Burmeister the throw. Has time. Flutters us out there, and it's intercepted. Jeremiah Lewis with the pick for the Blue Devils.
I don't know what Burmeister was doing on that pass. It looked like he put air under it, like he was throwing a deep ball, but he was throwing a 3-yard route. You got to zip that under there. Let's see if the ball hits the ground. Lewis looks like he did a good job of getting his hands underneath, but I mean, that's just not a very good throw by your quarterback. And Chris, if there's ever a question about when to put Hendon Hooker in, that throw is not going to do any favors for Burmeister.
That interception was trying to find Raheem Blackshear way overthrown, and Burmeister is 7 of 18 on the day, and that interception does have the touchdown pass. Let's see if Brice can do pressure coming off the edge. He's going to get dunked. No chance. Emmanuel Belmar was right there in his grill from the start.
No, and really bad play call by Duke offensively. There's no reason to run a play-action rollout when you know that the defense only cares about pass right now. I mean, a run is not going to hurt you. So those defensive ends are going to come off that play action, just go right to the quarterback. But good play defensively by Virginia Tech to hold them on that last play. But Duke has got to get something going offensively. Remember, that 7 points is just off that blown punt, that bobbled punt that was recovered in the end zone, and absolutely have got nothing started. And you see the intensity by Justin Fuente. He likes the toughness that his team is showing. Down 21 players to COVID today.
And down 7-0, as you mentioned, on that special teams touchdown by Duke. And they've rattled off 10 straight. Duke with just 5 first downs in that first half, Mark. Just 24 yards running the football. Again, the offensive woes continue for this team for the 4th straight game.
Yeah, they really do. And they're at least trying to run the ball. They're calling more run plays. But you just saw a picture of Duke walking off the field through that tunnel. And those were 2 of the cornerbacks that were kind of limping and hobbling. I mean, when you talk about fatigue and you talk about just being hurt and tired, being on the field for that much time, 18 minutes during that first half, Duke's defense was on the field. They are going to need this rest sorely in the locker room during halftime.
See Virginia Tech making their way to the locker room before
minutes off the clock. That is the real difference maker in all the stat lines. Other than that one drive, this has been a pretty even game. And defenses have both stepped up for these teams.
Charlie Ham will put the ball in play, and we're underway here in the second half. Virginia Tech will take over from their own 25. Braxton Burmeister at times looked good, and looked very good running the football. He just had some issues, I think, throwing it, Mark, consistently in that first half.
Yeah, his problem came on the timing routes where, Braxton Burmeister throws a really good deep ball and a good outside fade because he puts really good touch on the ball, but it's when he has to zip it in there when he struggles. We saw that a couple times, including that last check down pass that he threw an interception on before the half.
Hendon Hooker is available for Virginia Tech to play, unlike in their opener, but we're starting the second half as the first with Burmeister at quarterback. Big hole for Herbert. Scoots through it, and a good gain. 7 yards for the Hokies.
Yeah, big running lane for Herbert. This is how he started the game versus NC State, finding these massive holes created by the offensive line. Good job by Jamarick Woods, who came up to make that tackle. Woods got banged up a little in the first half. Good to see him back.
Burmeister to pass. There's a receiver coming back for it. Just underthrowing Turner, and Turner could make the adjustment.
Yeah, it goes to show a little bit of the arm strength troubles that Braxton Burmeister has. Not necessarily known for his deep ball. A lot of actually the touchdown passes that he had last week were kind of underthrown balls that the receivers came back and made good adjustments to. But if you want him to get consistent, those shots are not in his game. Look for quick screens to the outside and continue with this run game.
Burmeister to throw. 4-man rush. Chases him. Stays on his feet. The floater downfield, dangerous, and it might be picked. It is. No, couldn't hang on to it. Leonard Johnson looked like he might have been able to come down with the football, but it just squirted out when he hit the ground. We'll check the flag.
Gosh, that ball, see, just floating in the air. The holding ball on the offense, but you see that ball come down, and right now you need to act. Leonard Johnson, act like you caught the football. Do not put your hands on your helmet and say, oh my goodness, I dropped it. You need to get up cheering because you can convince some refs
All right, showing your age, the age before instant replay.
Yeah, exactly right. You never know the camera angles you got going on there. You got to sell that one.
Right. Still, though, Duke defense holds them to 3 and out, and they give the ball back to their offense. Sideways bounce on Bradburn's punt. Another flag on this play. Let's check it. As of right now, Duke will take over from their own 18. Our referee today, Jeff Flanagan, putting his earpiece in.
So many new procedures this year.
Right.
Procedures this year with these referees.
Offense number 44. The 5-yard penalty will be added on from the end of the run. First down.
Illegal shift against Virginia Tech, so tack 5 yards onto it for that man right there, Chase Brice. Duke now 3.5 games in, still trying to find that offensive rhythm. Going to keep it. Lots of real estate in front of him. Lots of green grass. Finally runs out of bounds at the 45. Had all kinds of real estate.
Well, good fake, good play call by Dave Cutcliffe right off the bat. Chase Brice not necessarily known as being a run threat. You see number 9, Justice Reed, just closed down so hard on the running back that it left no one on the edge to tackle Chase Brice.
22 yards on the play. Jackson spinning out of one tackle, can't spin out of another. There's 30. Tyler Matheny again.
On the tackle for Virginia Tech, number 30, Tyler Matheny.
Tyler Matheny, he had no scholarship offers coming out of high school. He played wide receiver and defensive back at Fairfax, Virginia, and ended up at Virginia Tech. And this game has to be a dream come true for him, playing very well at that safety position.
Hokies down to just 2 scholarship defensive backs available for today's game. Brice behind Calhoun. Just not in sync.
No,
Another
not in
flag.
sync at all. And yeah, another flag on the play. Been a sloppy start to this second half, penalty-wise.
Offensive pass interference against Duke. We'll get the official call from Flanagan. Not yet. Discussing it with the other officials.
And in that area, it's usually
Pass
blocking
interference.
down.
Offense number 19. That penalty will be declined. 3rd down.
And it's usually blocking down in front of the line of scrimmage on a forward pass. See, you're allowed to set a pick within 1 yard of the football, but that's way too far downfield. Called by the officials. 3rd and 11.
Offensive player would say he was just trying to run his route. Defender got in the way.
He would be wrong.
Third down and 11. Obvious passing down. Pressure picked up. Nice strike that time by Bobo. Brice finding his junior receiver from Belmont, Mass. Nice conversion for the Blue Devils.
Great job by Deon Jackson picking up the pressure and good route combination out of that bunch set, finding that dig deep down the field, pick up a first down.
Jackson spins out of first tackle attempt by Hewitt. Pollard was there to clean it up along with Rayshard Ashby.
Yeah, and Rayshard Ashby, they call him Rook, but anytime Rayshard Ashby gets his arms around you, you're not going anywhere. He had 120 tackles last year, led the ACC. Really dynamic, solid player for this Virginia Tech at the linebacker level.
Jackson loses a yard on first down. Brice with time, pump fakes, way overthrown. Tried to hit David Filio Johnson. Dorian Strong was there in coverage.
Yeah, we see a lot of these new defensive backs, Chris, but Rayshard Ashby, he's a guy that is no stranger to the field. And you know, when we talked to Justin Fuente about just his comfort level having Ashby on the field when Justin Hamilton's out, the play caller, the linebacker coach is out, and he said it's like having another coach on the field. You see him checking the defense right now, adjusting it as he sees Chase Brice adjust the offense.
Ashby consecutive 100 tackle seasons. Brice forced from the pocket, downfield, hits his receiver.
Pass is caught. There is a flag.
Calhoun
Reception made by
on the catch.
Deon Jackson.
Yet another flag. We'll have to check.
Holding, offense, number 63, 10-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Jacob Monk, the guilty party there, and just when, like we said in the first half, Mark, it's 1 step forward, 2 steps back for this Duke offense.
Yeah, it's the right guard is just trying to handle a pass rush. A really good swim move up front. As an offensive lineman, you got to weigh the risk of seeing your quarterback get smothered or take a holding call. 3rd and long.
Going downfield. And it's caught. Jared Garner, with just his 3rd catch of the year, puts Duke in the red zone.
Jared Garner's a big wide receiver they have on the outside. He's known for his speed, but at 6'3", Chase Brice just throws it up to him. They see Dorian Strong, a guy who we've called his name for making some good plays, but an inexperienced defensive back. Good job going up and get it by Garner.
To give to Jackson. To the middle, to the goal line, and scores.
Deon Jackson for 10 yards.
That is exactly what Duke needed. Give the ball to your running back, let him get in the end zone, and big plays helping out your quarterback. First, it was the big catch by Jared Garner, and then Deon Jackson breaking tackles in the offensive line, as well as Jake Marweedy leading him into the end zone. Great way to start off this second half for Duke, getting not only just points on the board, but touchdowns when in the red zone.
Ham converts to PAT. Duke back on top by 4.
Take another look at this run. Watch Deon Jackson lower his pads, spin through the line of scrimmage, get in the end zone. Duke win. They're 0-3 right now, and Green Bay is absolutely the opposite. They are rolling behind the Aaron brothers, Aaron Rodgers and Aaron Jones, are looking phenomenal. This looks pretty good too.
This kick return, yeah. Midfield, foot race. Can a big back win it? 20, 15, he will. Hokies answer on special teams. They gave one away in the first half. They take it back in the second. 99 yards for Khalil Herbert.
Just when we thought it was okay to talk a little Atlanta Falcons football, you see Khalil Herbert come out, just burst on the scene. Remember, transfer from Kansas, and good job blocking, continuously blocking by this Virginia Tech team. Duke squeezed a little too hard, but big fella going. Khalil Johnson almost tripped him up, but when we talk about Virginia Tech, you think Beamer ball, you think special teams, you think turnovers on defense, and Frank Beamer's watching this game, absolutely loving what he's seeing for number 21, transfer from Kansas for this Virginia Tech team. So he steps out. Ooh, it looks like he did step
the 11,
out.
huh? That left foot.
Yeah, I think it was actually closer to the 16-yard line, but
Let's see.
this.
Yep, that one right there at the 16.
Yep.
That little toe on that left foot. Of course, every scoring play is reviewed. Bruce Palmer, our replay official today, having a good look at this one right there.
Doesn't take back anything I said about the return. Great return, just didn't end in 7 points, but explosive play. This one should be called back. A great job. How about Damon Filiak-Johnson? That hustle to run down the returner and just pressure him enough to get him out on the boundary. We've seen the effect on just making them line up and snap the ball again, and teams not getting into the end zone. We saw it earlier today as we watched the Pitt football game, and they got stopped just short of the end zone on a similar play, and NC State was able to stop them from scoring.
Stands, it would be the first kickoff return for a touchdown for the Hokies since 2012.
Wow.
May not stand, though. That is the image that Bruce Palmer and company are looking at most closely. Our referee, Jeff Flanagan, in conversation with Palmer. Coach Cutcliffe hoping it could be overturned. Give his defense a shot.
Regardless of whether this is overturned or not, you talk about momentum, momentum swinging plays in a game. Duke just had a fantastic drive down the field, scored a touchdown, and
the runner stepped out of bounds at the 16-yard line. Please reset the game clock to 11 minutes and 15 seconds, please.
And that big return just swings the momentum completely in Virginia Tech's favor.
Opportunity for this Duke defense, though, and they played well today. You know, that momentum could switch right back to Duke if they can keep Virginia Tech out of the end zone here. So officially 83 yards on the return, and it'll set up Braxton Burmeister at the Blue Devils 16. Blackshear gets out of one tackle. Not a host of other Blue Devils. Picks up 3. Marquise Waters leading the charge.
Unfortunately for Duke's defense, I mean, they're used to these sudden change situations where either you have a short field due to a special teams play or turnovers. With 14 turnovers on the season, this Duke defense understands the desperation in these moments. See if they can string together a couple plays like that first one to keep Virginia Tech out of the end zone.
Motion. Give again to Blackshear.
Blackshear once
His
again.
way inside the 10 to the 9. Waters again on the stop. It'll bring up 3rd and short. Hokies want to go quickly.
James Mitchell lined up in the slot to tie up the screen.
Blackshear spins his way. Ooh, almost got out of that tackle. Jalen Alexander making the stop inside the 5, but it'll bring up 1st and goal.
Well, you have your starting running back returning kicks, breaks off a huge one, and then how about the luxury of being able to rest him?
Blackshear, Hayward on the stop there. Now you want to have your big back, though. To your point, rested after a couple of snaps, maybe bring him in here.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if you see that happen, but you know, they have 2 tight ends on the field, Virginia Tech does, and they've been lining up in that kind of power set where they motion a guy and just run right up the middle. I wouldn't be surprised to see that happen again.
Burmeister to throw. Back in the end zone. Just overthrows Mitchell, wanting to throw it away. Look for another down.
Burmeister had Nick Gallo in the front corner of the end zone, just wasn't able to see him in the flat. And we think back to that shoestring tackle by Khalil Johnson, and now a 3rd and goal play from the 2-yard line. How big is this for Duke defensively if they could get this stop?
An opportunity to wrest that Mo right back from Virginia Tech. Burmeister keeps to the end zone. Touchdown.
Lined up in the 2 tight end power formation. This is what I thought they might have done on the previous play. Motion the man across. We've seen him hand the ball off. We've seen the play action with the tight end in the flat. This time, pull your guard around. Get Lasita Smith leading your quarterback, Braxton Burmeister, through the hole and into the end zone. Good job punching it in by Virginia Tech, getting touchdowns in the red zone. That's what Justin Fuente said he wanted. Got it on that drive.
3-point effort by Brian
Johnson with the try, and right back on top go the Hokies.
Really good run on the ground by Jackson, and then before that, what you had absolutely, but right after a phenomenal kick return by Khalil Herbert, running all the way down, just stepping out at the 16-yard line, but Braxton Burmeister said, I'll do it myself when we get down to the goal line, punched it in for the score. Put some offensive numbers up on this board. It was such a low-scoring game in the first half. Early start to this third.
Jalen Stinson on the return. Bams his way to the 20, 25, 26, still on his feet, out to the 27. Tiffany Blackman's on the field. What do you got, Tiff?
Guys, you could feel the momentum shift after that Burmeister run for the score. Let me tell you, though, standing back here behind the bench, Burmeister has a serious look on his face. He looks like he's a man on a mission, like he's really locked in. He wasn't even cracking a smile when Quincy Patterson was dancing around him to celebrate that touchdown run, guys.
It seems about on par, Chris, from what we saw this week in our interviews. He was short answers, get right to the point, answer the questions, move on to the next one.
Did smile when we brought up Waffle House, though, as anybody from California would once they get to the South and get to enjoy a little scattered, smothered, and covered.
But we smiled to anybody's face. Yeah, we've got to tell them how much you enjoy Waffle House, and it's that's the one thing you do not like about not traveling to these games is you don't get your Waffle House fix on a daily basis.
I got one at every exit here in the Atlanta area, as Tiffany knows all too well. 2nd down and 7 for Chase. He gets that one out to Eli Pancall. Again, we're seeing some of this here in the second half, Mark. These short underneath passes to kind of get his confidence and get his rhythm going.
Yes, might as well. I mean, run the ball, throw some short rhythm passes. Once you see man-to-man on the outside and Virginia Tech bring pressure, you could throw a couple deep shots.
Got to convert here, though, on 3rd down. Keep this drive alive. Hokies show pressure. They bring it. And he responds. Nice pass by Brice. Again, the Pancall will move the chains.
It's interesting. You talk about timing on routes, and the timing all starts with the snap with Will Taylor. Just getting the ball exactly where Chase Brice needs it, and what a benefit that they have played together and understand each other. Really played a factor in getting that ball for the 1st down.
Empty backfield for the Blue Devils. Brice quickly tried to set up the screen. Can't connect with Gardner.
Just in terms of comfort level, we talked with Dave Cutcliffe about kind of what is going to make him settle in to play the football that Cutcliffe knows he can play. And Cutcliffe said, look, I need to simplify this playbook, cut it down so he understands exactly the nuance of every single play we have. You line up in this empty formation, it takes away a lot of the thinking process. And you just get to read coverages and throw the ball.
Empty backfield again. Hokies bring just 3. Coverage making that pass much more difficult to find Noah Gregg.
You know what else made it difficult? The umpire standing right in the middle of the field. I love that placement of the umpire as a linebacker. He always helped me in my coverage a little bit.
Yeah, defensive players always loved having that. Not the case in the NFL, though, right? Just in college football, the umpire's right there. See him right there with the D is?
Yeah, right there in the middle. He's behind the quarterback in the NFL. A little different in college football. You got to be on your toes as that umpire.
There's an extra defender there. Looks like he could play some defense, too. Now 3rd down. Brice. Flushed out. It just can't connect again.
No, that's it.
He had his man Harding open.
It's a tough pass. I mean, you're rolling out to your left, sliding to the left, but you know that's a pass that you need to make. I mean, you absolutely need to make that. You have a guy sitting up in the zone. You can't throw it low. You can't throw it behind him. And that's the progression. As you get more and more comfortable, you rely on your arm more and more and less on thinking. And Chase Brice needs to develop that more in his game.
Porter Wilson with a nice kick inside the 5, or inside the 10. It'll be down at the 6-yard line. That's where Virginia Tech will take over. Don't forget, tonight, 8 o'clock Eastern, more ACC college football. Trevor Lawrence, #1. Clemson, back in action, hosting Virginia. It's our ACC Network primetime matchup, presented by Geico.
Travis Etienne Wow. Rematch of that ACC title game. But Travis Etienne, just even on that one run, you get a quick glimpse of what he can do tuning in tonight. I mean, that's a guy you're going to see run the ball and catch the ball a lot at the next level next year.
Blackshear, we've seen him run the ball a lot today, just picking and choosing his way into that secondary, picking up a first down.
Yeah, it's a great run by Blackshear. But, you know, you talk about Travis Etienne and what he has done, and especially deciding to come back for this last year. You look how close he is to passing A.J. Dillon in terms of career rushing yard leaders in the ACC, and he might even do that tonight, 120 yards away, and really only has about 400 yards until he leads the ACC in career rushing yards. He'll probably get that this season.
Amos Lawrence and Ted Brown going back a long way. Burmeister going deep, has Robinson, and they connect. Just tripped up, but a big gain for the Hokies.
And Robinson just got so far behind the defense. Still not as much power on the ball as I'd like to see from Braxton Burmeister, but he got it out in front of his receiver, who had not just one, about 4 steps on the defender. Good big play.
Blackshear puts his shoulder down, picks up a couple before Waters is there to bring him down. Take another look.
Fantastic move off the last scrimmage. Oh, and he gave him a little, we call it a whoop wop, whoop wop. Lean in, turn your head around, and then just go the other direction. And man, yeah, really good route, good timing on the route, good catch and run, and fantastic tackle just to get him on the ground by Jeremiah Lewis. Whoop wop, Chris, you don't know anything about the whoop wop.
Nothing. That's my first inclination of it right there, and I was impressed. Gallo in motion. I'm guessing he's not giving you the whoop wop very often. Herbert stretching it. Stays in bounds. Nice job to get a lot more out of this run. Picked up an extra 7-8 yards.
I love that from a running back. You can easily go out of bounds, or you can stop and turn back in. This is the difference. If you ever see a running back just ease out of bounds on a run like this, you say you don't belong playing running back. You can play slot receiver or something else, but you want your running back being tough, get those extra yards.
Yeah, Duke's sideline wanted to hold on. Drew Jordan didn't get the call. It ends up being a big play by Virginia Tech. 1st and 10 from the 14. Robinson in motion. He'll line up in the backfield. The fake to him. Burmeister keeps it inside the 10. Inside the 5, looking for the pylon. He gets there.
Braxton Burmeister. This is why he is in the game right now. He is a dynamic runner. He can make the throws that they need him to make, and he's had more time in this offense. 2 big offensive linemen pulling around to the right side. Christian Jarosaw, one of those. Great play design, all the action to the left, pull the ball. Your 2 offensive linemen pulling back to the right. Good job getting to the end zone for Braxton Burmeister in this Virginia Tech offense.
Statistically, Burmeister may not be having the best day passing the football, but he's responsible for all 3 Hokie touchdowns. Carries this one in himself, the second one on the ground, and Virginia Tech has reasserted themselves.
From yesterday, you could see the toll that having to deal with the coronavirus has taken on him. He said from a mental capacity, well, it was draining. It was to the point of infinity. So very nice to see Coach with a smile on his face for all that this team has been through.
Yeah, I think we asked it on a scale of 1 to 10, and the answer was infinity. So way beyond 10 in terms of the level of stress, and fired up with a special teams play made by Andre Banks. Here's what he's been dealing with. 21. This is unavailable today. This is in addition to the 23 players and coaches last week that he had to handle the game without. His defensive coordinator out.
Yeah, and not even just like out for the game, but think about the guys who aren't out for the game but haven't practiced in like 3 weeks, and they don't know if they can rely on them to go on the field. So, you know, it's a big task for any coach.
To Durant. Just tripped up Tyler Matheny. You know what? Tyler Matheny maybe wasn't expected to play this year in the secondary for Virginia Tech, but even when healthy players start coming back, he may have earned some time.
No, I totally agree. I don't know what his scholarship situation is right now, but you got to give that man some money because he is making some productive plays for your defense.
Just stop Mateo from making a big gain on first down right through the arms of Calhoun, 3rd and 6. That ball had some mustard on it.
It did, and just like that, it's 3rd and 6 again. I mean, we talk about momentum shifts, and the big kick return is one. That last run by Braxton Burmeister is another. If Virginia Tech gets a stop on this 3rd down, all the momentum will be in their favor.
Showing pressure. Let's see if the Hokies come out of it or bring it.
Noah Gray is in that slot at the bottom of your screen. Nobody within 10 yards of him. Let's see if they go there fast.
Will Ashby come? He does. Up the middle. Nice job of Brice picking it up. Calhoun just trying to wrestle his way free from the defender. Late flag coming in on the play. Jenkins is there to bring him down. Let's see what that flag is all about. Right at the point of attack. True freshman Keontae Jenkins not only forced into action, but forced into being a big-time role in this secondary with all of those that have tested positive for COVID over the last 2 weeks. Let's hear from Jeff Flanagan on the flag.
During the run, personal foul, face mask, number 21, the runner. The penalty is 15 yards, 3rd down.
And this is a bad penalty, too, because it's during the play.
Penalty would be half the distance of the goal.
I don't know whether they
Calhoun,
got
they said 21.
They got the number wrong, yeah.
Correction, the runner was number 5. Penalty was on number 5.
You got it straightened out.
Yeah.
But now it's 3rd and a lot longer than, well, it's 3rd and 6 because it was a spot. There we go, 3rd and 11. 3rd and long.
3rd and more than it used to be.
Yeah, and not in the wheelhouse of Chase Brice and this Duke offense. Outside of the wheelhouse. Brice will do it on his own. Flips it out here to Durant. Durant has a chance, bangs his way close to the sticks, but I don't think he got there. I think he's going to be about 2 yards shy, and that's where they're going to mark it. 10 yards on the pitch back, but that'll bring up a punting situation with Porter Wilson on the field.
Mateo Durant really lowered the boom on Rayshard Ashby. And Rayshard Ashby kind of holding his arm as he was walking to the sideline. We'll have to keep an eye on that as he's not in the field for this punt safe for Virginia Tech.
Wilson, good kick, really good kick, driving Blackshear all the way back to his 20 where he fields it. He's got nowhere to go. He'll be dropped right there. Hey, tomorrow it's a women's field hockey doubleheader starting at noon Eastern with North Carolina, who just had their long winning streak snapped by Louisville. Congratulations to the Cardinals last night. North Carolina Duke followed by Boston College and those very same Louisville Cardinals. Then you get a women's soccer doubleheader. Number 10 Virginia hosting Miami. Number 3 Clemson taking on Duke. It's Sunday best right here on the ACC Network and on the ESPN app.
Let's take a look again at that last hit by Ashby as he lowers this shoulder and kind of gets his head across the bow of the runner, and that's in that stinger territory. Let's hope he's all right and can return to the field.
Burmeister throwing. Incomplete, looking for Robinson over the middle. Nice job by Jeremiah Lewis in coverage. Talk about all the players that Virginia Tech is missing in the secondary. Let's not forget, Duke is already without starting cornerbacks Josh Blackwell and Mark Gilbert. They were injured, and they're going to be out for a while. Then Lummy Young has an upper body injury. Just found that out today. They're starting safety, so he's also out.
Yeah, and you talk about guys who have earned playing time regardless of who the starter is. Leonard Johnson and Jeremiah Lewis, both those corners that had to step up, have played really well in the absence of the starters.
Duke showing pressure. They bring 5. Burmeister now stepping up. He's going to get brought down. There's number 0 again, Marquise Waters.
Marquise Waters has done it all today. He's tackled the ball in the run game. He's covered in pass, but watch it. He's initially stoned, but he continues to work his way to the quarterback. Great job finding the open lane. And this is what makes a really good pass rusher. Sometimes you get right off the ball and beat your man. Other times you are the guy who the ball's forced to. Good job making the play. Marquise Waters had a phenomenal day.
Burmeister, the give. Herbert. Good gain. He's still on his feet. Picks up the first down and a lot more down the sideline. Finally, just enough to force him out of bounds. But that was a safe third down play by Virginia Tech, and they end up picking up the first down and a lot more.
It really was. They saw the defense back in a cover 2. And good job by the offensive line. You see number 74, Doug Nestor, get out in front of the runner, as well as Christian Darasaw. And anytime you get your offensive line up on the linebackers and safeties, you get good things happening in the run game. And Khalil Herbert capitalized on that last one.
And Waters again. Waters just enough to knock Herbert off his balance a little bit and force him out of bounds. Otherwise, he was gone.
Yeah, what an addition he has been to this backfield for Virginia Tech.
42 yards on that carry gets Virginia Tech out of trouble. That was on 3rd and long, too. Now patiently waiting for something to develop, and it doesn't. Johnson there on the stop from his cornerback spot. I know you like a cornerback that'll come up and hit and run support.
Oh, my gosh. Great job. I mean, he's a guy, he's not scared of it. You talk about impressive athletes. Leonard Johnson, he holds Duke defensive back records for squats and power cleans. I mean, nice. This is a strong man, and he came up and laid a licking on the running back in that last play.
2nd and 8 for Burmeister and company. Clock ticking down, final minute of this 3rd quarter.
Duke showing 2 high safeties for Virginia Tech to possibly run the ball.
Just getting the snap off. They do. Blackshear can't find anywhere to go, though.
Blackshear is wrapped up.
Sheldon,
by Rocky
along with Rumph, making the stop.
An impressive job by Duke defensively. Credit Matt Guerreri, the defensive coordinator. Duke has been showing this 2-high coverage all day. And at the last minute, rotating down into a cover 3 with 8 men in the box. And so you get Virginia Tech looking to the sideline. Once they get the adjustment, Duke decides to rotate, and they did a good job there, stuffing the run.
Burmeister to throw. Almost had Mitchell, just couldn't quite make the grab. Carter there on the stop for Duke, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Carter looks like he's down, grabbing his side.
And that's Nate Thompson.
Holding a sign like it's a hip pointer possibly, which those are painful. You don't wear hip pads anymore in football. We used to wear them all the time in Pee Wee. So he comes down. Hopefully that's all it is.
Yeah, low on Mitchell. Carter went high. That's a good sign right there. Staff pulling him up, letting him walk off onto his own power.
Those stinkers hurt. I've gotten that. You get hit right on the top of that hip bone.
Ugh.
That's not good. Yeah, it's another injury. We talk about the other injuries to the outside guys. You know, that's an injury to a safety where they are completely thin. When you look at the guys who are out, Jack Wallabaugh is a guy that we haven't talked about much, but he's the starting all-ACC center who are injured his right ACL in training camp, and then those are the 2 cornerbacks they don't have as well.
You mentioned Lummy Young out today. And now Nate Thompson, another DB. If he can't come back for this Duke team here in the 4th quarter, they are going to be as thin as you can imagine. Mark Woods has played a good game in Lummy's stead at that safety spot for Duke.
Nonetheless, Chris, good stop on 3rd down, forcing a punt. Still a 10-point game. Duke's right in it. They just need to get something going offensively.
Bobo makes the fair catch at his own 14. That's where we'll see Chase Brice and this Blue Devil offense again, just trying to get something going. Still just 9 first downs in this game.
You know who has not gotten going at all this game? Noah Gray. We haven't barely called his name one time, and Noah Gray could possibly be one of the best tight ends in the ACC. He's been used primarily as a blocker in this game, which he is excellent at, but wouldn't be surprised to see him get more involved in the pass game as this one goes along.
In the backfield, blocking for Durant. Good gain on first down for Durant. That'll be the final play of the third quarter.
Correction, there is a flag on the field.
No, it won't. You got to wait to see the flag first. Let's see what Coach Cutcliffe wants to do with this one. Defense offside. Duke can elect to take the penalty or the run.
Offside, defense number 12. Penalty is 5 yards. First down.
Coach Cutcliffe will take the penalty. Put the down back in his pocket. And now the clock will hit triple zeros. Final play of the third quarter. Hokies had the lead at the half, extended that lead in the third quarter. Burmeister finding Robinson for a big gain, then taking it himself. Geyser of offense from both Virginia Tech and Duke, and the Blue Devils need more of that here, trailing by 10 as we start the fourth quarter. Brice with a pump fake. Now he's going to want to go deep. As a receiver out there, and Gardner makes the catch.
We open up the fourth period with a pass completion to number 24, Jared Gardner.
Oh, Chris, that's what you want. Good job with the little pump fake, reload. Good job getting the ball out in front of your fast wide receiver. I mean, Jared Gardner's not maybe a big name guy, but averaged 20 yards a catch last week. Making some big plays in this one.
Durant, nice move. Inside the 20. He wrestled out of bounds and delivering a little blow of his own at the 18-yard line.
Well, if you're going to start seeing fatigue from either defense or both defense, it's probably going to be in this fourth quarter. You've seen a lot of new guys play in the defensive backfield for both squads. Two big plays to start this fourth for Duke.
Durant just trying to find any little seam. Doesn't find much. Ashby was there to bring him down, give him a yard. Isn't he typical Virginia Tech linebacker? 5'9", 245, hits like a truck.
Tackles everything.
Yeah. Pressure coming on the edge. Now he finds his tight end, and he stays on his feet in the end zone.
Well, I knew we'd call Noah Gray's name eventually. How about on that play? Really good job by Chase Brice. Recognized the pressure coming from Virginia Tech and just replaced the pressure with the football. We talk about that a lot, Chris. You want to throw the ball right to where the defender's coming from. Noah Gray heads up, hot route, and finished it going into the end zone. This is a real close game, and you talk about explosive offenses. Both these offenses have looked sharp in this third and fourth quarter.
Last week, Duke hung around at Virginia.
The point after by Charlie Ham is good. Your score.
Hokies too much who's in the fourth quarter. This time around, they're hanging around as well. Can they close the deal? Getting a big win on the road, beating Pitt. You and I will have Pitt and BC next week. We got a football game to decide here in the next 13 minutes and 41 seconds. Touchback. Virginia Tech will scrimmage from their own 25, Mark.
Yeah, let's go back to that last touchdown and see where the breakdown came. Look at right around the 7-yard line at the bottom of your screen. The safety, Tyler Matheny, is supposed to work towards the top of the screen. He looks down towards the bottom and really leaves a wide open lane for the tight end, Noah Gray. Anytime you're in that position when you're playing blitz up front, 3 guys at the second level and 3 guys in the back end, you need to work towards that third receiver threat. Good job by Chase Brice to find it in there and get Noah Gray on the board.
Second touchdown of the year for Noah Gray. Duke trailing by 3. Braxton Burmeister with Herbert in the backfield. Give to Herbert. Tries to get to the edge and does. Lots of room to run near midfield. Brought down to the 49.
Herbert, the ball carrier.
19 yards on the carry.
Great run again. Good blocking up front, but even better blocking on the outside. Watch number 80, Caleb Smith, come into your screen late. He's working all the way downfield right there, blocking guys as this ball's running. Great job by Khalil Herbert.
And there's Waters. Waters is shaking up a little bit on that play. He's been all over the field making a bunch of tackles on a really good day. He's going to have to go to the sideline a little bit. And don't forget, we saw Nate Thompson, his backup, have to go to the sideline in the last Virginia Tech possession. So just thinning out even more at that safety spot for the Blue Devils. Herbert now over 100 yards on the day. Tight end in motion. Give again to Herbert. Banging his way forward for about 3.
Once again, Drew Jordan will make the stop for 2.
Tiffany Blackman, here she is with more on this Virginia Tech running game, Tiff.
Yeah, they've been lighting it up, and that's large in part due to that offensive line they've got there with their center in Brock Hoffman, who's been such an instrumental part of this team. I know you guys were talking about earlier how he transferred here, had to sit out, but Coach Fuentes said he was still able to come in here and establish himself as a leader early on, being engaged even on things like just playing on the scout team. He was still fully locked in on doing that, and Hoffman told me that he wanted people to respect how he worked, and that's how he earned these guys' trust, and that's why we've seen him become an even more vocal leader on the team this year.
Yeah, they were so disappointed last year that he didn't get immediately eligible to play, but he certainly played his role, as Tiff said, on that scout team and just being a leader on this team, biding his time, and now he's starting center on an offensive line that's pretty darn good. And they ran for 314 yards last week, and they're starting to get that game going this week. Robinson on the big carry on the jet sweep on the last play. Now Blackshear, he's fresh, just picks and chooses his way. Good gain on first down. Give him about 6 before Jamarick Woods brings him down.
How about that? How about that scout team that Virginia Tech had last year? Brock Hoffman's your center. Braxton Burmeister's your quarterback. I mean, talk about the work that this Virginia Tech defense has got in practice. They had some tough guys to handle, and now it's paying off with them playing not on scout team anymore. They're in the real deal. They're in the real game.
Burmeister, good job finding the hole and picking up the first down. Flag on the play. Let's check it. Might be coming back. Burmeister read that play really well. Bounce it to his left.
That penalty will be declined. First down.
Jordan offside. Virginia Tech will keep the play. All week long, Cutcliffe talked about how his team is just trying to get into football shape, Mark. Just 129 days of development missed, during the spring and summer, and it's harder to get into football shape, and this is the time when you really find out, isn't it, here in the fourth quarter?
Yeah, this is crunch time. This is when you need to tackle well, run well. Pancake by running backs doesn't help. Doesn't help you at all.
Yeah, look at
low to the ground, just whoa. Rocky Shelton. Hello, young man. That was a big hit. He's only 5'9", Chris. 5'9", 194. 194 pounds.
Yeah, he's the change of pace back in this Thunder and Lightning. He's the Lightning. The Thunder's in there right now, and Khalil Herbert. He'll get this carry. Bounces it outside too nicely. Inside the 15, the 10, the 5. He'll score.
He will score, and Lightning gets into the end zone. And again, fantastic blocking on the outside by these wide receivers. That time you saw Tayvion Robinson with a big block on the edge. And you mentioned it, Chris, the fatigue by this Duke Blue Devil team, just unable to get off blocks. You see them all kind of sticking the blocks, and there's that big block on the outside. That's the way you get big runs from your running backs, get those blocks up to the second level, and you won't break a big one unless your wide receivers will do the dirty work as well.
Johnson with the try. Herbert over 100 yards and another score in the books. Hokies starting to line it up on the ground. And they extend their lead. On that last scoring drive, putting him over 100 yards. You can see what he did last week against NC State. An even bigger week this week, 139 on the ground here, including a big kickoff return, Mark.
Yeah, forget about it. This kickoff return was fantastic. Almost scored, just stepped out of bounds, but he has such good vision and sets up the blocks so well. He has gotten a lot of help on the outside by his wide receivers blocking, by the offensive line, and you saw after that last touchdown run, he went and he high-fived every single one of his offensive linemen on the sideline saying, thank you very much. He understands full well that he cannot do it without their help.
Now you see as a team 256 yards on the ground today and inching their way, not even inching their way, taking it in chunks, getting closer to that 314 that they were able to notch last week against NC State.
Yeah, and there you see him afterwards, not only just thanking his O-line, he thanked his wide receivers too. I mean, he understands he can't get 137 yards on the ground without them blocking at that next level. Good job.
Coach on the guy's arm.
Talking about drawing it up in the dirt, the sand line. You draw it up on your forearm. Chris, you got big enough forearms for that.
My plays would be really simple. Run right, run left, pass right. So now a Duke team down 10. An offense that was coming alive there in the third quarter, early part of this fourth quarter. Chase Brice is going to have to keep it going and do it again. Good pass. This time Marweedy.
He is hustled out of bounds by Dex Hollyfield.
Let's see what these plays look like on the arm.
The ball now marked at the 41-yard line. Where it is first
down. See that right there? Really good run. Oh, what's that, Coach? Oh, you see this right here? That's all the guys that aren't playing, and I have to figure out how to sub a new guy in. That's probably what he said.
That's great. Brice now going to take it on his own. Got slowed down just enough in the backfield.
Chase Brice, the ball carrier.
The gain minimal for Duke.
By Tyler Matheny.
Even after that last Virginia Tech drive, I mean, this is still a 10-point game, and watching what Duke has been able to do late in this game, they look like a completely different offense and been consistent with moving the ball down the field.
Yeah, both defenses are depleted and tired. Here's Jackson on his feet. Inside the 30.
Deon Jackson inside
before Matheny is able to bring him down, but here come the Blue Devils.
Change move.
Game is far from over.
To the 17-yard line.
We talk about the 1-2 punch that Virginia Tech has, but how about Mateo Durant and Deon Jackson? They are both really good running backs, and Deon Jackson with that last carry, he really went off last year versus Virginia Tech and finding his way on the ground in this fourth quarter.
Brice finds his tight end Gray.
Staying in bounds, brought down by
good pickup on first down.
It's interesting. We talk about Dave Cutcliffe and kind of how good he is mentally playing this game. He's throwing routes to the sideline, making the defensive line and linebackers run, and then running the ball right at the middle to get them tired.
Jackson dances his way and spins his way down inside the 10. Matheny again on the stop.
Matheny is there for Virginia Tech.
Third down and 2. Emmanuel Belmar has been rushing the quarterback all day long off that edge. Will he come again? Holyfield looks like he wants to come from his linebacker spot. Give us to Jackson up the middle. Just brought down by Matheny. Touchdown saving tackle, but it's first and goal from the 3.
A little bit of miscommunication on the outside defensively. All the left tackle Casey Holman had to do was turn out and block 2 defenders.
Jackson
spinning his way, stays on his feet. Wow.
Jackson again, this time he is rolled
good athletic move just to keep on his feet. Second down and goal.
If you think back to Duke's troubles when they really started was a couple weeks ago versus Boston College. They fumbled the ball twice going in to score at their 5-yard line. That was a risky move by Deon Jackson holding that ball out. Got to be careful with it down here so close to the goal line.
That was Gray in at fullback. Give to Jackson. And he scores. Quarterback under center, fullback. That's old school.
That is old school, and that's back to Dave Cutcliffe's old school football. He loves those big guys in there. He's obviously known for training all those great quarterbacks, but anytime you can get the big boys up front leading the way for a dynamic running back like Deon Jackson, Cutcliffe will take it. And how about Duke? Answering the call, firing right back, marching down the field and scoring a touchdown, putting a lot of pressure on Virginia Tech now offensively.
Ham to get the Blue Devils to within 3. He converts, and that's where we stand at 6:44 in the game. Duke scores on the ESPN app. Deon Jackson running for 52 yards on that last drive alone for Duke to get him to within 3 points. Herbert again on the kickoff return. Is there anything this man won't do tonight? Might get 15 yards tacked on. No, but it's still a great return.
Great return, and special teams playing a big role for both teams in this one. That early botched punt by Virginia Tech. Duke jumped on it for that early touchdown, and then these couple kick returns for Khalil Herbert have put his team in absolutely phenomenal field position. Puts a lot of pressure on this Duke team, and gosh, that's a tackle you just have to make. Anytime
Isn't that a tired missed tackle?
Yes. Anytime you're caught banging the ground saying, oh, shoot, I should have made it, that doesn't look good on film. I promise.
The missed tackle is going to look bad enough. Banging the ground, knowing that you missed it, is going to add insult to injury there. So Virginia Tech at midfield. Herbert. Beautiful play in the back.
Behind the line of scrimmage, Herbert is by Ben Fry.
Yeah, Ben Fry is. He's a redshirt junior. They have a bunch of guys who all came in the same class on this defensive front. Ben Fry, Derek Tangelo, Victor Dimukeji, Drew Jordan, Chris Rump. They all came in the same class, and just how fantastically they have played and developed as a crew. That one, Ben Fry, he was a wrestler in high school and also was on the wrestling team at Duke. I mean, he's a phenomenal athlete.
Yeah, Duke's got a very good wrestling team. Kind of one of the things that it's best kept secrets in ACC country. Burmeister cuts it back up nicely to get what he can.
Burmeister.
Design quarterback run. Rumpf was there to bring him down. To bring
the
a
original
third and medium.
Chris Rumpf with the stop.
Such a big third down play for both teams. If Duke is able to get this stop, I mean, you're able to rest your defense. You see hands on the hips of Drew Jordan, and your guys would just love to be able to get off the field here. And right now, putting the ball back in Chase Brice's hands and in the hands of Deon Jackson and Mateo Durant could be a game changer for this Duke team.
Big play, 3rd and 8. Duke just brings 4. Burmeister's going for it all. Has a man, and Turner makes the catch.
Big play, Trey Turner cruising down the sideline. Braxton Burmeister able to step up in the clean pocket, get the ball away, and just really floats it up there. Not a perfect pass by any means, but anytime you're throwing it up to number 11, you have your good chance of coming down with the football.
Turner only had 1 catch last week. 3 of them so far today, none bigger than that one. Blackshear trying to get in the fumble, and Duke has it. Fumble on the exchange, and Victor Dimukeji comes away with it.
Wow. Wow. How important is ball handling by Braxton Burmeister, just unable to give a clear read to the running back. Decides to pull it at the last second. You see the snap is a little bit high, and Victor Dimukeji falls on it. Chase Brice looking to march down the field for a score.
Do you have a dark garage?
Change. Victor Dimukeji with the return for Duke, or with the recovery for Duke. And the Blue Devils now get the football back with a chance with 4.5 to go in this game. But this defense is fired up. We saw it during the break. Darryl Tapp, former player for Virginia Tech, and now coaching the linebackers, really getting this defense mark fired up and ready for this drive. Brice on second down, outside, receiver dropped the ball.
That's Deon Jackson, the running back, who was lined up out of that #1 receiver. He's a reliable pass catcher, but just unable to come down with this one. And I think just as we thought this was going to be an offensive showcase, Duke's defense stepped up with that fumble recovery, and basically Tap was saying, all right, we're a defensive football team. Let's step up right now. 3rd and 11's where they need to make their mark on this game, this Virginia Tech defense does.
Brice has a shadow on him, and he's going to go down.
Wow, good job defensively by Virginia Tech. They only decided to rush 4 versus an empty look that Duke showed them. And the initial surge was stopped. But you see Jared Hewitt being that little bit of a quarterback spy, triggering when he knew Chase Brice pulled the ball down. That is a fantastic stand by Virginia Tech's defense.
Blackshear's going to let this Porter Wilson punt just hit and take a Duke bounce. Deadened at the 27. Here's Tap in the orange hat, the orange pullover.
He said, this is what we play for right here. 11 years in the NFL. He knows exactly what it takes. He's in the Virginia Tech Hall of Fame as a defensive end. I mean, this guy was hired to this staff because they knew Bud Foster was leaving, and not only with his expertise with the linebackers and the defensive line, but his emotion and the emotional aspect that he can bring to this program. He also needs to get a little bit of a bigger mask. He's got a big chin there.
He's got that beard, though. That's the problem. He's got the beard rocking. Hokies will look to run clock and chew up some yards. Herbert does a good job on 1st down. Here's Tap after the possession. You saw fight. Yeah, Hewitt big on that last play. Chest bump and read. You think he's dying to get out there and play, though? Got it.
I was about to say, that's the type of guy you got to hold back on the sidelines. Oh, man, he's fired up, and why not? I mean, this is exactly what you live for as a defensive player. Put me out there when the game's on the line for a big stop, and they'll probably have to go out again before this one's over.
Sure, they wish he had some eligibility left. 23 players unavailable last week, 21 unavailable this week, many of whom on that defense. Herbert again. Spins his way, stays on his feet. You're going to get a healthy dose of Khalil Herbert here on this drive.
Broken tackles, spin forward, pick up the 1st down. This is something Virginia Tech didn't really have last year. They didn't have a guy who could really break those tackles and pick up the extra yards. You talk about blocking a play for 4 yards and picking up 8. That was a good job by Herbert of making the most of that run. And you're starting to see, again, you talk about the fatigue on Duke's defense. A couple missed tackles on that last one. 2 minutes and 37 seconds left in this game. Coach Cutcliffe is saying, give it all you got. We're right there. Do not leave anything on the table.
This is where you really got to make the stop, Mark, because Duke just used one of their 3 remaining timeouts, so they have 2 left. With a 1st down here, 1 more 1st down, that may do it. Don't forget, Virginia and Clemson coming your way tonight on the ACC network. When we're done here, we'll send it back to studio. I'm sure JC and the crew will have highlights from all the other games, including Florida State going on right now. We got to finish this one up first. Herbert bottled up a little bit here. That's the play Duke needed on 1st down. They'll use timeout number 2 here.
You know the run's coming. You got to get downhill. Good job of stringing it out and getting the ball carrier on the ground.
Timeout will be 30 seconds.
Fuente saying, just relax, calm down, this is fine. They're using their timeouts. And again, the thing that they have in their back pocket is if they do have to get in a punting situation, they have a defense who has been playing well as of late. You know, look at Victor Dimukeji, really a leader of this Duke defense. Mr. All Everything and kind of a quiet guy, but he leads this team and, led them in that last series, recovering that fumble. It's going to be a huge stand if Duke wants to get the ball back in the hands of Chase Brice for a game-winning drive potential.
Just one timeout remaining on the board for Coach Cutcliffe and Duke. 2nd down and 10 for Burmeister. Herbert again. This time he goes to a big hole. 1st down and a lot more. 30, 20, still on his feet, he'll score.
Well, if you want to seal the game, that's a good way of doing it. Khalil Herbert, another one on the ground. Had an absolutely fantastic day, and probably no run more important than that last one. Getting the little
over 200 yards for the day, Mark.
200 yards. That would be a career best for him. We can get that BC game off the record books for him, where he had 187 yards rushing last year versus Boston College. Yeah, no one will ever remember that again because he had 200 plus in this game.
Yeah, he had over 1,700 yards rushing in his years at Kansas, 14 touchdowns, but he's never had a game like this. And Justin Fuente has his workhorse back, and he's got a great change of pace back in Blackshear as well. He's got this running game going. I mean, 314 yards last week, over 300 yards this week.
Always love when you have offensive linemen participating in the celebration. Putting the baby powder in his hands and doing a little LeBron James tribute to the NBA playoffs, finals.
Look at that! Look at those all-purpose yards.
That's out of control. Wow. Over 360 yards, all accounted to him. I mean, that's a quarterback number. You see quarterbacks doing that sometimes. That's out of control.
I don't know whether Jordan Cornette and the crew, whether they give out game balls or players of the day awards back in the studio, but if they do, this young man right here certainly deserves one, and that offensive line does too. And you could even tip your cap to this Virginia Tech defense, as undermanned as they are and were coming into this game. They just hung in there all day until that offense could start churning out yards on the ground here in the second half. Duke will have 2:20, down 10. Obviously, they need a really quick score here with just one timeout still on the board.
Yeah, Chris, I do a studio show on Monday nights, the ACC Network. And we have a little thing called Linebacker Lounge, where I welcome someone into the Linebacker Lounge who had an outstanding day. I guarantee Khalil Herbert will be top of that list.
Yep, he's on that short list.
Phenomenal day. See what happens in this later game, too. Could be some exciting football tonight.
So Chase Brice and this Duke offense has their work cut out for him. Under pressure. Escapes the first wave, not the second.
Chase Brice taken down by Emmanuel Belmar.
Hewitt got there. Emmanuel Belmar got there. This is with Virginia Tech just rushing forward. That's like sharks smelling blood in the water.
Oh, it's bad. When you know you need to pass the ball, that's D linemen love to be in there.
Noah Gray with the catch.
Quick one to Noah Gray. They'll just pick up a couple on that one, bring up 3rd and long. Brice steps up, tries to get it to Gray again, and does. But he'll be short of the first down. Obviously, Duke is in 4-down territory the rest of the night.
Yeah, definitely something positive to take out of this game for Duke, as you've seen much improved play from Chase Brice. You haven't seen him as nervous in the pocket. You've seen him step up and make some good throws. A lot of underneath checkdowns, but he'll progress downfield. He's been able to manage this offense well. Big throw there, pick up the first down.
Pen call on the receiving end. Yeah, when you look at the turnovers, they came into this game with a -9 turnover ratio, turnover margin. They're +2 today, so Duke doing a much better job of taking care of the ball. Barno gets Chase Brice. This young man making the most out of his increased playing time this week, too.
Good spin move, inside spin move by Barno. This is a guy who's 6'6". He's the tallest defensive player that Virginia Tech has.
Final charge, timeout.
Redshirt junior, a little
Timeout will be 30
bit
seconds.
light. See, he looks almost like a wide receiver, but does a good job with his quickness getting to the quarterback. Good job just using his length, spinning inside. Anytime you're in 2-minute drives, sacks really hurt the offense. Rashard Ashby, he's so tired he doesn't want to walk even farther to give the handshake to his teammate. Both these defenses are going to sleep well tonight. In terms of being worn out, that is. Only one will have fancy, nice dreams.
Virginia Tech defense, 6 sacks last week against NC State. You saw 7 today. And that defensive front, you know, we talked to Jared Hewitt during the week, Mark, and they knew they had to get after the quarterback because they were just so depleted on the back end. They weren't going to be, they knew they couldn't give Chase Brice time back there to throw him and pick him apart.
No, and how scary could this Virginia Tech team be when they do have everybody? I mean, we've only seen them at three-quarters strength, 2/3 strength, whatever it may be. When they get all their guys back and able to play, it'll be really interesting to see how good this Virginia Tech team can be.
Getting a lot of depth playing time here early in the season. It can only pay off for them later on in the year when they do have some injuries and some players have to step up that have had some playing time. Brice trying to keep this drive alive, going downfield, and just overthrows his man.
If you told me that they were not going to have their starting quarterback in the first 2 games, they were going to put up 45 points and 38 points, I would have thought you were crazy. That's a testament to Justin Fuente and making sure his guys are ready, and Braxton Burmeister just answering the call, being ready to step up and play.
4th and 8, got to convert here. And he does. It looked like Malik Bowen-Sims was able to make the grab and pick up the first down, and he does.
Yeah, unfortunately, it feels right now, even though it's a 10-point game, it just doesn't feel like Duke can get the ball downfield in big chunks right now. This is still a game that could come down to an onside kick and a field goal. They need to capitalize on some of the downfield throws.
Brice can't connect with Gray that time over the middle. Virginia Tech going to call timeout here.
Virginia Tech, first charge timeout.
Let's see what they have coming up, the Hokies. If they can hang on here, they'll be 2-0. That's that game at North Carolina. That game could be sunk for Carolina in action right now, actually. We'll get an update on what they're doing against BC when we go to Jordan and the crew in the studio. Interesting way to finish the year. You look at that last month, Mark. Miami, Pitt, who lost earlier today, then Clemson at home and at Virginia. The rescheduled game on the 12th of December.
Yeah, it's so important to get those wins early in the season because you see that treacherous stretch those last 4 weeks. And again, it'd be a really good time to get everybody healthy right before that stretch, and hopefully that's the case for Virginia Tech.
Taking it day by day and hour by hour right now with the COVID protocols.
Chris, that mental strain on a team and a coach, just really finding out this morning at 9 a.m. whether they would even have enough to play in the game. I mean, talk about mental toughness. You got to prepare like you're going to play when you just don't know if you have a game or not.
Brice has time, has a receiver too. Another first down. No quitting this Blue Devil team. Good opportunity to work 2-minute offense as well with Chase Brice. I'm hearing that North Carolina did beat BC earlier today, so it'll set up if Virginia Tech can hang on here. Battle of unbeatens next week.
Justin Fuente. Yeah, we talked about the infinity. 1 to 10, how hard is it? Infinity. Well, you got to at least come away from these games and just be proud of what your team has done. I mean, I can't imagine there's a time where he's ever been more proud of the players he's had for just toughing through obstacles and finding ways to get wins one way or the other.
Brice stepping up into the end zone. Just a little too far for his receiver. Incomplete. Tyler Matheny, one of these defensive backs, a safety, was pressed into action with Divine Diablo being out because of COVID. Dorian Strong as well in that secondary. Nadir Thompson. We saw Amari Barno, Josh Fuga.
Yeah.
A lot of players getting playing time and playing well.
You talk about even just like looking from last year. Khalil Ladler transferred to Louisiana Tech, and Devin Hunter got suspended in September, so they were already down guys they were counting on. Then with COVID, but it's really, it's a testament to what Justin Hamilton and Ryan Smith, the cornerbacks coach, and all these defensive staff have done. Yeah, just getting the guys ready to play.
And then you look at the guys like Justice Reed and Jared Hewitt, Emmanuel Belmar up front, Rayshard Ashby, Dax Hollyfield. You guys can't rest. Sorry, you got to play every second of every snap in the game. We just don't have anybody else. And I'm sure they're all more than willing to do that.
Yeah, we didn't really hit on the linebackers really, but you know, they're missing some guys at linebacker too. And you know, you mentioned it. I mean, just the amount of pressure on these guys to play every single snap. I mean, you look back and you love it. You never want to be on the sideline during any defensive play, but at the same time in the fourth quarter, you're thinking, oh boy, I am tired and we got a game in a week. It's a good look at Justice Reed.
Yeah.
Transfer in out of Youngstown State. It's his 7th year. 7th year playing. It's wild. Really good player.
I'm feeling that. I'm feeling that. You got the rest of your life for the rest of your life. Enjoy college.
Yeah, for real.
That was my philosophy.
You could have
4th and 10 for Chase Brice. Yeah, why not? Completes it to Bowen Sims. And they'll move the chains. Time for maybe one more play.
All right, they're going to kick the field goal.
Well, they're 10 points down. I guess the thought is you kick the field goal here, and then on an onside kick, a fumble, and you pick it up and return it for a score. It's the only way you'd be able to do it.
Yeah,
you couldn't pick up the onside kick and run it in. No.
There's not enough time to get an offensive play after an onside kick. I don't think they'll even get another play after this.
They will not. Ham makes the kick to make the final margin a 7-point win for Virginia Tech.
And although we saw a lot of good things and improvement out of Chase Brice, this Virginia Tech team was just too much for Duke to handle. And even though they were down 21 players in this game, Justin Fuente and his team found a way to win, really on the back of Khalil Herbert, who absolutely went off in this game. Fantastic job on the ground and kick returning by that young man.
And you can see the relief and the elation for Justin Fuente and his assistants to be able to just deal with the